Hey everyone, this is Evie here with Divine Readings with a Gypsy. My tarot corner is actually a living nightmare of Sharpie markers, stationery supplies, scissors, tarot decks, wallets, tarot decks, washi tape, and everything else because I've been doing some art journaling stuff, and I hope I could share some of that with you here in a little while. And I'm hoping that this feather will stop getting in my mouth. It's starting to drive me crazy. But I'm making 2 videos today, and I'm hoping to get there 2 videos today because my mother that is supposed to be coming by today is late, and so I'll talk about some of I'm just going to take them out for this video. If you saw my other video, then you'll know why I'm taking my earrings out. My sister made me these beautiful pheasant earrings, although I don't want to trim these earrings down, but I might have to one of these days. It gets into my ear, mouth, it's nasty. I wanted to talk about one of my favorite topics today. And I know Sacred Seed has a lot of Golden Dawn influenced tarot decks in her deck collection. I am too. I'm not too cool with the correspondences either, but I am it's so much fun to study the Golden Dawn influences and how they correspond with the tarot cards. Oh my god, I'm a big Golden Dawn tarot fan. I saw the Tarot Mundi, or the Mundi Tarot by Who's Her Face that did the Rosetta Tarot, which is in my collection here that I'm going to show you and share a little and talk lightly about each card that I have here. But I really want that one, and if I do get that tarot deck, it will be my absolute last tarot deck of this year. Absolute last tarot deck of this year. And I would probably not even unbox it. Just buy it and keep it in the packaging and not even unbox it until Christmas. Because I need to tell myself to stop buying tarot decks. Because if I do the purchase that I want to do, it's going to be about, I think it added up to about $73. It was the book and the tarot cards, and she doesn't have a mini out. If I had she had a mini deck like the Rosetta Tarot, I would have bought the mini immediately, but she doesn't have a mini. She has a $50 deck of the Tarot Mundi, I think it's called. But I really want that deck. I so badly want that deck and be part of my Golden Dawn esoteric collection. I love it. I love it. I am sickly obsessed with it. That's one of my sick loves too. This is actually my first taste of the Golden Dawn influences as this deck, which is the Handel Tarot. If I could talk a little bit about this. I don't think the original, I trimmed my deck by the way, but the original keywords to the deck I don't think even corresponded with the Thoth Tarot, or the Thoth Tarot. Depends if you say potato or potato. As this card is happiness, but I feel like that this deck corresponded, I don't remember if the keywords were Thoth key correspondences or not, but this deck is full of correspondences, like you see the I Ching. Okay, this is where this deck and I are in a little bit of a disagreement. These correspondences up here, they are really, really bad. Bruins. I think this I don't want to be mean to a deck creator. I really don't, but this deck creator or Mr. Deck Creator of the Handel Tarot a numbering of the Hebrew letters and the runes, 1 through 10, and put it on a tarot card that way. It's not a good way to put do tarot correspondence, because they put the tarot, not the tarot, but the rune correspondences on the majors, doing it 1 through 10, basically. And they did the same thing with the Hebrew correspondences. It's not even corresponding with the Thoth deck or the Thoth deck. And it turns me freaking nuts. It's like, if you were gonna dedicate to the Thoth deck, dedicate to the Thoth deck. Don't make up correspondences that don't make sense. I got bashed really badly on YouTube once, and it was an adoring fan, not really an adoring fan. I deleted her comment off of my video, and I think I blocked her too, but she basically was saying, how dare I make bad assumptions about this. Apparently she was a Handel Tarot fan, and okay. And I offended her. She was basically saying, how dare I make accusations and assumptions about this tarot deck when you have not even read the guidebook to it. And I'm like, there was a guidebook? It really went that way. I didn't even know there was a guidebook to it, because it does not come with a guidebook. It comes with an ugly little white booklet that does not make any sense, if you know what kind of little white book I had. You know that. But this is kind of like my first taste of the Crawley, Golden Dawn, Esotericness, and I really like this deck still. Person, whoever you are, I still love this deck, even though it still drives me apeshit. And every single time I see these correspondences, I will still use the deck, by the way, don't get me wrong, but, and I love this deck, don't get me wrong, but I crawl out of my skin when I see the ruins, and I see the, the Hebrew correspondences, and I just kind of thoughtlessly just kind of slapped on the tarot deck. It's like, no, let's talk about this, no. And then, I love that deck so much, I actually bought the Thoth deck. I actually bought the Thoth deck, or Thoth deck, after my Handel Tarot experiences. I do know the order of the decks. I've purchased, at least these ones, my esoteric collection. And I have trimmed down my Thoth deck, and I love how it looks. I want my Thoth deck. I love my Thoth deck. This is how I read my. This is how I read my tarot cards. Is the Thoth way is the Earth of Fire, which is this. It's a Earth of Fire, and the Earth of Earth. That's my preferred way of reading the core cards, and this one is Princess of Cups, which would be Earth of Water. But it is just my preferred way of, okay, they are in order. At least the core cards, I think, are in order, because I was trying to do a demo or something. But this is my preferred way of interpreting the core cards. I know Veronica Jude, she did a wonderful video, by the way. Check her out on her channel. But she did an amazing, wonderful video, and she's creating a tarot deck based off of the Myers-Briggs system for the core cards. I will buy her the tarot deck someday, but this is my preferred way of reading the core cards, because what I love about the Golden Dawn system of the core cards, it makes it make sense. Even then, the Rider-Waite-Smith is an offshoot of the Golden Dawn system, believe it or not. And it's my preferred way of reading the core cards, because it makes sense to me. It's thought. To me, court cards are thought rather than, yes, they could be a person too, don't get me wrong. But they could be thought, they could be an action, it could be I did some examples in a previous video of verb, adverb, and noun video here on YouTube about court cards and how some way people interpret the court cards. I love the artwork and the cloth deck too. But it's just one of those things that you kind of... But yeah, it's just the tarot is and then there you get into the minors. It's just a wonder. I think the Thoth is wonderful for the court cards. I can't highly recommend people start working with the court cards as far as the Golden Dawn system, just because you could look at in keywords like it's earth of air, it's physical thought, physical communication. It's like and then you piece it all together like a puzzle piece, and that's what the tarot is. It's like you're laying down a puzzle piece and you're deciphering a puzzle. And it's a beautiful puzzle. And you choose your puzzles, cards, and you choose your puzzle pieces. And it works. It's wonderful. Tarot is one of my favorite systems just because it's like deciphering a puzzle. It's like interpreting a puzzle. And I do not agree. The one problem I have with the Thoth deck, and this is something that I think most people could agree with me, is I want to go back in time and talk to Aleister Crowley about his correspondences, not correspondences, but his, I want to talk to him about his, choice of keywords. Please, could I talk to Crowley? I'm also a channeler. By the way, I'm also I can be a medium, and I am a channeler. And I actually can talk to the dead, or the ghosts, or spirits, or higher selves, or whatever you want to call it. I can channel spirits. I do, out of fun one day, might want to channel Crowley, if I can. But I will, if I do the channeling of a spirit or something, I do a full-blown ritual, like it's just a full-blown ritual, and and you've got to do it a very specific way so that you're only channeling Crowley and not some other dude posing as a Crowley, because I don't believe in this gets into I'm getting into a topic I didn't want to get into this video with, but I don't believe in the demons. However, I do believe in that there are spirits out there that are that are demons, but what they are really is a low energy trying to attach itself to a higher energy so that it too could try to raise their own vibrations. As below is above, and so below. And so when people think of demons and demon possession, that's what they're seeing. It's not really a demon per se. It's just a low energy trying to attach itself to a high energy so that they could bring themselves into a higher state of light. However, they are nasty buggers to get rid of, and they're nasty buggers in general because they're low. They're lower energy, so of course they're not going to be friendly. And of course the people are going to call them demons, and of course they're going to call them devils and all that crazy crap, and that's what they have in Chinese cultures and blah 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 blah, and I'm going to try not to get into it. Alright, and my other deck that has a lot of Golden Dawn influences just because a lot of the Golden Dawn has Kabbalistic influences onto their decks. Is my... What the fuck is this card deck called? The Kabbalistic Visions Tarot. Title is in the cards, I guess. And this one is very glossy, so I'm going to try. I think the sun is mostly gone, by the way, but I'm going to try to show some of the images. This deck is like a cross between a Rider-Waite-Smith, its own system, and kind of has a Thoth-ness to it. It actually does, believe it or not, because it is a Kabbalistic in the Thoth cards, and the Thoth system is kind of that way. So this is kind of my, I was debating whether or not to add this one in here, but since it has some reference Thothy images, like this one is the Fool, and I talked about it in an earlier video, references, it is one of those decks that I had involved in here. And this is one that is one of my newer babies. This one I got over the summer, and it's the Rosetta Tarot in a 10. I love. I'm sorry, I keep looking over my shoulder. My mom is supposed to be here. I think I already said that. But I love this deck. It's like the Thoth, but it's a feminine version of the Thoth, and it's, come on, it kind of is in a 10. It's a portable version of the Thoth deck. Oh, and I love how portable this deck is. It's so dainty small. And yes, she used all, I want her terrible day. It might have to be my last purchase of this year. It really does. I probably can't go without that deck. I don't have the Tarot of the Holy Light, even though I really have it on my wish list. I have the Hermetic Tarot actually on my wish list too, because the Hermetic Tarot is actually very Golden Dawn goodnesses, all sorts of good Golden Dawn goodnesses. However, I think I could get my hands on the Hermetic Tarot because it's mass produced, but the Tarot Mundi, I don't know how many printings she's made of it and how many she's going to continue making of it or produce of it, but I need to get my hands on that deck and the guidebook, especially the 50% off guidebook of the $13 that she has. I shouldn't be bragging about it, even though Sacred Seed already unboxed her video. I probably, and she probably blew it for me. Love you, girl. But I really want that deck to be a part of my collection. But this is such a wonderful addition to my collection as far as Thothy goodnesses. Judith, what? Her sister's sleeping, so of course Judith is kind of sitting there bored probably. I'll try to make this a little bit quicker. I just kind of, this is like a collections video. This is not supposed to have been a long video. Oh well. And I only had 6 decks here, so it's not like it was supposed to have been a long video, but I want the Tarot of the Holy Light, but I've just, and this is my new baby, by the way. I just bought the Tarot of the Holy Light, and not bought the Tarot of the Holy Light. I do have the Tarot of the Holy Light in my wish list too. However, that one is a little bit more busy looking. I'm not saying that I'm against busy looking tarot decks. I actually do kind of like sometimes the busyness of the cards. It's just one of those things, I guess. It's and I got that one in my wish list too. What else? Other esoteric-y goodnesses of thought, Golden Dawn-y goodnesses decks are in my wish I have to get the Tarot Mundi. It's like a don't pass go. I have to get it. I hope that it will still be available closer to the end of this week or so, because I just gotta have it. I might have to wait until next week if I could, or if it's the guidebooks are still available, because that's another thing that I want too, is the guidebooks. So I get deck. All right, stop me bitching about that one. I'm gonna show you my latest baby, and many of you are going to say, "How could you? You just made a fucking video of this." I have the Roaring Tarot as part of my new Thothy Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. It's actually more a combination of the both than it is actually a Thoth tarot deck or a Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, believe it or not. It's a combination of both. But you guys are going to tell me, how could you? Because I trimmed my Roaring Tarot, and you're probably gasping in your chairs right now. I'm telling you, it was the Spanish version, and I traded my Line Strider for this deck. This, in my opinion, is a good trade. This is the Spanish version, so it's not like it's the expensive first edition or the second edition of this deck. And even then, I think some people would say, how could you? Because the Spanish version is still like a $30 tarot deck. I love this deck. It has all the thought correspondence, not thought correspondences, keywords to it, like futility. What are you talking about? And the court cards in this deck is wonderful, and it goes with what I keep saying, the earth of air and things like that. This is something I knew I was going to have a problem with when I bought the deck, or not bought the deck, but traded the deck, was I know that this card deck had all these correspondences, kind of like my Handle Tarot, and it drove me crazy. I get, one of those, with the ruin correspondences and I'm not so much against the astrological correspondences as Tarot Seed is, but I'm more persnickety on the ruin correspondences and a little bit of the Hebrew correspondences, but I'm kind of indifferent on the Hebrew. I could live without the Hebrew correspondences. I'm not so persnickety on the Hebrew correspondences. And then I think this deck, in particular, is corresponding with the Thoth deck, not its own correspondences, which this one did, which I'm like, ugh! I know I'm probably making you all laugh right now, but, or not laugh. But yeah, I'm a little bit more, the ruin correspondences have to go. But other than that, this deck is amazing. It's amazing if you could get your little hands on it. This deck is actually a worth it buy. And I just did my video of this. I think I did a Romney spread with this video. And I have to eat my own words on this deck. I so have to eat my own words on this deck. At the beginning of the video, I said, there is no way this deck is a relationship deck. I need to eat my own words because this deck is very intuitive with relationships. After I did that video, I'm like, I am so wrong. This deck is begging to be a relationship deck. It talks about relationships. It talks about thought processes of relationships. It talks about thought processes and relationship. It's nothing but, it kind of reminds me of a man's deck. It kind of has a masculine energy to it. Very masculine. It's kind of like sometimes guys like tarot readings too. It kind of has that male point of view. You know, like I'm not saying men are simple, but they kind of have a love, eat, sex, and companionship things going on to a lot of men's mindsets. And this deck kind of talks about it in a way that I think guys understand it. And I'm not saying girls can't understand it either, but when I feel like as a female tarot reader deciphering it for a masculine energy to read this tarot deck, it talks it and tells it in a way that I think it would make sense to most male clients. So if I were to have I should also do a list for this. What decks would be preferable for female clients versus male clients, and this one would definitely make the masculine male clients list, as well as, believe it or not, the Fountain Tarot I think is a very good masculine, to me it's very masculine tarot deck for a male client reading. But this deck is so wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my new baby. I'm very good. I know this gets off topic again, but I love that has a little bit of Rider-Waite with this deck, as well as it's a Rider-Waite Thoth deck. It's such a Rider-Waite Thoth deck, and I just look at that vomit of color. I know I was naughty and I shouldn't have trimmed it. Oh, it's my new favorite baby, especially when it comes to the Golden Dawn esoteric stuff. But those are my decks, and some of the decks I have on my wish list as far as the Golden Dawn esoterics go. But it's one of my loves. I actually love studying the Golden Dawn system, and I don't seem to have a big Golden Dawn deck collection, but believe it or not, I use and abuse my Thoth deck a lot. I abuse my Thoth deck. I abuse my Rosetta Tarot. I even abuse my Handle Tarot. I'm eating up this Roaring Tarot. Bring it back into print, but it might ruin the value of some people's first editions, so I don't know why the Roaring Tarot is a collector's piece, but I have to talk about the Roaring Tarot another time. That's my video for right now, and it's not a big collection, but I eat it all up. Y'all have a good day.